Hi everyone, I'm Kevin Nelson. Here is a look at what's going on this week in the news. We begin with news from the Vatican. The Vatican announced February 14th that Pope Francis has named Cardinal Kevin Farrell as the new Camerlengo, or Chamberlain, of the Holy Roman Church. The 71-year-old Farrell is the prefect of the Dicastery for Laity, the Family and Life. Cardinal Farrell was born in Ireland, was incardinated in the Archdiocese of Washington, and served as Bishop of Dallas from 2007 to 2016.
The Holy See's Camerlengo position has been vacant since early July after the death of Cardinal Jean-Louis Tauran, but that is no longer the case. Among other things, he's the person who officially declares the Holy Father's death to the public. The position has been given to Cardinal Kevin Farrell, prefect for the Dicastery of Laity, Family and Life.
I was shocked, I was surprised. Told the Holy Father that yeah, I'd accept, but on one condition, that he speak at my funeral. So what more can I say? To be quite honest with you, I have never thought of anything like this. I will confess that I really don't even know the details of what the Camerlengo does. But I'm sure there will be somebody who will coach me and tell me exactly what I'm supposed to do.
All joking aside, he presumes the nomination at this point in time is not significant of health problems with Pope Francis, but rather a task the Holy Father hadn't gotten around to doing.
I guess somebody put a piece of paper in front of the Holy Father sometime recently and said to him, Holy Father, you have to name a Camerlengo. It's part of the structure of the church. And I'm sure he said, oh yeah, you better get me a list of all the cardinals. I don't know, but that's my guess.
Upon the death of a pope, the Camerlengo is one of only 2 officials in the Curia to keep their position.
Really, the only ceremonial role of significance left to the Camerlengo is that he still is the official who formally certifies the Pope's death, removes his ring and shatters it so that no one can falsify documents using the Pope's seal.
The Camerlengo also acts as the Vatican City head of state until a new pope is elected and administers the financial affairs during the sede vacante.
Looking now at news from around the country, McAllen, Texas city commissioners have voted to vacate within 90 days the building that Catholic Charities of the Rio Grande Valley uses to provide temporary shelter for immigrants who cross from Mexico into the United States but who have been released by federal authorities. The center is run by Sister Norma Pimentel, who has been praised by Pope Francis for her work with migrants. The center was a temporary shelter which provides food, clothes, a shower, and other necessities for migrant children and adults passing through the city in the Diocese of Brownsville, Texas. A story in a local newspaper said that residents were complaining to city commissioners about activity in their neighborhood that they said was coming from what's known as the Respite Center, which began occupying the space in December. But Sister Pimentel, according to the report, said that the families the shelter helps are receiving services inside the building and don't wander around. In a statement released by Catholic Charities, Sister said she was disappointed but would continue to work with the city of McAllen in efforts to treat immigrant families in a just and humane way and ensure that they are in compliance with existing immigration laws. Brownsville Bishop Daniel Flores said via Twitter that the decision of the McAllen City Commission was disheartening for many, yet he said he continues to have hope in their collaborative relation with the city. He said the diocese, as well as Catholic Charities of the Rio Grande Valley, were committed to finding a welcoming location to continue the work of the Respite Center. In news from around the world, among the decrees signed this week by Pope Francis was a decree recognizing a miracle attributed to the intercession of English Cardinal Blessed John Henry Newman, clearing the way for his canonization. Also, the Pope declared venerable a Hungarian Cardinal who is jailed and exiled by the communists.
The Vatican has released a new list of possibly new saints, blessed and venerables. Among this list are 2 famous cardinals, Englishman John Henry Newman and Hungarian Joseph Mindszenty. Although a date has not yet been set, Cardinal Newman will be canonized as a saint this year. This is because Pope Francis has approved the miracle needed for it. He converted to Catholicism when he was 45 years old. This decision lost him his job in Oxford and many friends. However, this did not discourage him. He went on to be ordained a priest and fought for Catholic rights in England. Newman was also elected as cardinal when he was 79 years old. He is a man known for his great intellect. John Henry Newman's writings are still a source of inspiration for many people across the world. Joseph Mindszenty has also been declared venerable, the first step in beatification process. Mindszenty had suffered greatly under Soviet occupation. For 50 years he denounced the atrocities committed by the Soviet government. As a consequence, he was tortured and served an 8-year prison sentence, and his auxiliary bishop was assassinated. It is for this reason that Mindszenty is symbolic for the peaceful and courageous resistance of Eastern European Catholics.
And finally in the news, the day before the first anniversary of the Parkland shooting at Marjorie Stoneham Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, Mary Help of Christian School gathered together and held a prayer service to pay tribute to the victims. The event was attended by the family and friends of Gina Montalto, a parishioner of Mary Help of Christian's Church, who was killed in the shooting. Teachers, staff, students, local leaders, and parents also joined in the prayer service. The student-led event paid tribute to the 14 students and 3 staff members killed on the high school campus last February 14th. Students made heart-shaped wreaths and angel crosses for every victim and one for the Parkland community. In response to the shooting, a movement was started that led many of the survivors to organize the National March for Our Lives rally, calling for stronger gun control legislation. At the high school on this first anniversary, students and staff remembered the day by visiting the graves of those killed, packing meals for the needy, and taking part in service projects. Other local schools planned service projects and observed a moment of silence. Well, that is all the information we have for you at this time. Kevin Nelson, don't forget you can keep up to date on Catholic news throughout the week with Catholic Newsbreak right here on the Catholic TV network.